All right, Lauren, in this episode, anal. We successfully did it once, so just like every other podcast, we're now experts. Also, hear about our struggles with menopause for Lauren personally and how it affects the lifestyle. Make sure to not miss the part about me becoming a eunuch. All right, Lauren. Hi. Welcome back. We are back in the flooded studio.
Yes.
We can't seem to stop moving around. We did make an executive decision to move back to the flood zone.
After the hurricane, because it didn't flood. It was like a test.
So many people were just like, we don't care. Just get on with it already.
I don't care where your studio is. Can you put them out every week?
I just want to catch everybody up. So much has not happened since we spoke last. There you go. You're caught up.
All right.
Well, that's not entirely true. We did announce the dates for February Flirt, the best lifestyle event anywhere, ever on East Loma Harris, February 12th through 17th. So make sure to go to Room 77 Life, book your spot before they're gone, and make sure to come and have fun with us. All the kinds of fun. Today, we wanted to get to talk about what we were going to talk about in the last episode because we ran out of time. That's kind of a stretch of the truth, really. Actually, not on a time schedule of any type or sort.
They would probably have kept listening, I'm sure. If
I don't think anyone's listening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what we were going to talk about is the very, very sexy subject of menopause.
Even the word onomatopoeia
sounds like sex.
Not sexy.
But listen, I don't want our listener to go away and thinking that we're only going to talk about menopause. We are going to talk about anal sex as well, because we do have to balance this episode out. I haven't figured out how we're going to blend the two together yet, anal sex and menopause, into one subject. This is a really good time to plug a butt or plug a butt plug.
Yes.
Which is our next segment after this. It's brought to you by Taboo Toys. And the next segment is titled Little High Lauren, a Butthole Story. So support Taboo Toys because they support us. Now we are linked to them anally.
Yes, they rimmed us.
They did. It's a lovely story.
It's so good.
It's not a story of redemption. I need some good rimming music.
My God, that's a good idea.
Tell me if this is good rimming music. Does this feel like good rimming music? How does that feel to you?
I feel more like someone's stroking my hair, or like we're in the bathtub or something.
Yeah, I feel like this is someone like licking my balls, but not necessarily getting to the butthole just yet.
Right. Yeah.
All right. What about this? Is this a bit rimmy for you? Ow.
Sweet Jesus.
That feels like rape. I need something that's like blowing on my asshole. Like just a little
more flute.
Woodwinds and happiness. Oh, there's some flute. Look, I feel that on my asshole. That felt rimmy. All right. That's the winner.
That's so good.
All right, let's get back to the story.
Oh, God. Taboo Toys helped rim us with the petite rimming plug.
Oh, petite rimming. It sounds French.
Like my butthole.
And we will hear about the success of Little High Lauren, a butthole story, in the next segment. But for now,
make sure to go to tabootoys.com and follow them on social media. Use promo code ROOM77 and save 15%.
We'll talk more about that and the petite rimming plug later. You cannot skip forward on this. It's like one of those YouTube videos. You can't skip forward on this just to get to the anal. You hoary bastard. All right, so back to menopause. There are a lot of people who do want to hear about this. They did reach out to us and say they were looking forward to hearing about our struggles with the menopause.
And no one talks about it. So they were like, I'm so glad you're going to say something.
So just a little bit beforehand. I know we're usually really jokey, really lighthearted. We usually don't do episodes that are heavy-handed. And we don't want this to be. We don't want to bring on a menopause expert and, talk about a lot of data. But I don't know if we're going to be able to make fun of this as much as we really, really want to.
Right.
It is rather kind of serious just on a personal level and just on a human level. So let's start off with the anal. No, I'm just kidding. As a man, I don't think men really understand menopause. I don't even think women really understand menopause.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, well, as a woman, didn't even understand menopause because I didn't know anything about it. No one told, like my parents didn't bring it up. My mom didn't bring it up. When I went to the gynecologist, it was like, hey, I can't find your ovaries. It seems that you are menopausy. And I was like, what? You're in my butthole, doc.
Yeah, he missed. That can happen. I've been there.
See, I brought anal back into the story.
That's very good. Very well done. As far as our age and the menopause, it's not talked about because it's not really pretty. And we want to make it as pretty as possible. So
sexy.
Yeah, we want to make it
dress
pretty.
it up.
So let's dress it up. This is like the changing of seasons.
You sure?
When season when seasons change, it can be quite beautiful. And this is like going from a vibrant summer to a really, really dead, rotten fall. Get the Halloween costumes out. I don't know.
Eat candy.
Yeah.
I did have some sugar cream.
I think the thing that is most misunderstood, and we're really going to talk about in a sense of you, is the amount of time that it happened.
It's very gradual. And that's part of the problem is that, it's not just a me problem. It's an us problem because you're with me every day. You don't really see the symptoms. It's just sort of over time. You're like, why are you not remembering stuff? And you just seem a little disinterested in sex, or you're not coming as much. Or if I had to timestamp it, it would probably be around 2019, 18, 19, probably 19.
I would say 2018, 2019. I think so. Yeah.
Because I definitely stopped having so much stamina in the gym and I couldn't figure out what was happening. That was my main trigger.
And for me, you want to say that I'm going to be the most supportive husband in the world when it happens.
Yeah.
You want to be that person. But what happens is your partner is going through something that maybe she doesn't know or she's not aware of. How the hell would I know?
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm faced with is a person that's just changing and you have no idea why. This person that I'm looking at over the course of a couple years is someone who is just getting more tired, isn't really interested in things, is different sexually. You start to blame the relationship. You start to resent the other person because you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. When
you describe what you were going through when you didn't know really what was going on, what would you say? Because there's an important part of this that the listener needs to know, which is the birth control part of this.
Yeah. So I would take my birth control for extended periods of time because I never really had good periods anyway. So I would take it for back to back where I wouldn't have a period. So I'd go to the gynecologist and he'd be like, when was your last period? And I'm like, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something. Like I'd take little breaks, but it would be centered around where we weren't either doing the workshop or like going to an event or something like that. It was very like... You
would manufacture a period when you needed to.
Medically, you're supposed to do that. So I never really had a sign in terms of the normal cycle because I was overpowering my natural body's responses with manufactured hormones.
And then you found yourself in this life where it was easier for you to just stay on birth control and not have periods because our life became the lifestyle and menstrual cycles were just in the way.
Pretty much. I mean, I know there's probably doctors out there like slamming on the brakes and be like, oh my God, are you insane? What are you doing?
Doctors can't drive.
Oh, thank
It's a
God.
fact. Yeah, no, they all have chauffeurs. Don't worry.
With their letters.
They're fine.
Yeah. Honestly, I know it wasn't the best choice, but it ended up being a silver lining because it helped in so many ways that I had no idea. It literally helped balance me out through the whole perimenopause thing because I was on birth control,
right? Because
I was taking 2 hormones that my body was not producing. I didn't know that I wasn't having cycles anymore, but I was also supplementing with 2 hormones that your body has 3 hormones.
What are they?
Testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. so I was taking the birth control and it was helping me, but there was still side effects that were coming because I was without my ovaries making the normal hormone levels.
What you're talking about now is so that the birth control is giving you certain hormones, but it's all about a balance. So when your body's working correctly, you're still keeping your body in balance. But when your body is not producing menstrual cycles and your ovaries aren't working anymore, now your hormones and you're taking birth control are going to become heavily out of balance, correct?
Right. Yes, because your body would naturally produce the estrogen and progesterone.
Right.
And I was taking it continually, which actually ended up being a benefit for me. Mm-hmm. Because if I was taking it like a cycle, you stop and then your body does it naturally and then you go back on it. Because that's the whole point of birth control is to...
Is that the point of birth control? I thought it was to annoy conservative Christians. No, I had that wrong. All right.
Okay.
You would basically what you would do is you would skip all the sugar pills in the pack.
And I just take it, start a new
Super
pack.
healthy.
So good.
Yeah.
Again, doctors slamming on their brakes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being in the jacuzzi and people talking about being on pellets and how it helped their sex drive, but I didn't really put two and two together about it being anything about menopause. I thought that people were just doing it for shits and giggles for their sex drive.
Me as well.
Yes,
No,
you're
I really
like,
did.
I want some. Oh, did you really?
Never put two and two together. I think one of the misconceptions is that when we hear menopause, we think old lady.
We think grandma.
Right.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Right. We never think that in your 40s, this is going to start happening.
Yeah, like Lauren in her tiny workout shorts, like busting her ass at the gym. And I'm like, fuck, I'm trying so hard. And I'm like, why am I so, like, I can't do these sets like I used to. And it was killing me. And mentally, it's hard to keep going to the gym when you have those kinds of things. And, and I thought like maybe it was some other medicine or whatever. I'm like foggy brain or I'm sleeping later and it just seems like I'm lazy. And there's just all these little bitty things and you layer the lifestyle into it too. And you're like, are you interested in the lifestyle still? And it just starts all these questions between the two of you. And you're like,
it not only starts questions, it starts problems. It starts conflict.
We didn't have any problems, baby.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I know. We got divorced 17 times. No, but it did. It started conflict for the first time in our lives. A lot of it was working together, but a lot of it was because, your hormones got to a point where it just seemed like you didn't care about anything. You just were just like, I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit about anything. That went on for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was me sort of pulling my hair out going, I just don't understand what's going on. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, you were always there as a loving, wonderful wife and never ever like left my side. But it was always just a sense of, I don't care. Like, it's just nothing really, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter whether I get up and stay in bed all day. It doesn't really matter. I remember distinctly both of us laughing like morons. Oh my God, honey, what? I just sweated through the entire bed.
Oh my
God.
God.
Look how wet my side of the bed is. Morons us who are just so out of touch with life are like, oh my God, you pig.
Yeah, that's
like,
disgusting.
Never even really putting two and two together. You're going through
major night sweats.
Yeah.
You crazy person.
And
this is not normal.
And like I said, we don't want to make this sound clinical, but that's when you found out you had the menopause. No, it's not actually. When
No,
you found
it's
out.
not. It
I mean,
wasn't.
we were just like, oh, well, and just kept moving along.
I just thought it was like, it's really hot here and we don't keep our AC on all night long because,
I don't know, whatever, lady. You're weird.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
You're hot.
Just don't cuddle with me. Your libido dropped. The sensation with your parts dropped.
Well, I love that you called them my parts.
Well,
first of all,
we're going to try to sell this segment to PBS. So,
you like it, yeah.
Not the anal section, just this one.
Just this
So maybe they want the anal sex. I don't know. We'll see. But your parts were a little bit numb, which sounds conducive for the anal sex. But let me just jump ahead to anybody who's getting excited. Being in menopause does not give you a greater chance for anal sex.
You don't just skip ahead and be like, I'm not interested.
You're
anymore.
in menopause? It's only anal now.
It's anal from here forward.
Unfortunately, that is not how it works.
It's going to be everyone's takeaway.
Right. I know some guys are getting excited. This is a sweet deal.
Sweet. Babe, listen, you're in menopause.
You're in menopause. I'm 25.
Fucking you in the ass.
Yeah. You seem a bit moody. Lube up.
It's definitely like desensitized. I didn't know what that was either. I thought that maybe like I'm on antidepressants too. Hello, everyone. I'm on antidepressants. So you layer that with it, which is also fun. But I just thought like, oh, maybe it's that. Literally was looking to every other excuse or idea or concept that menopause was not even on my radar. That's why I was like, I have to talk about it, because I feel like people are like, oh, until your doctor is ultrasounding going, I can't find your ovaries. They're dried up. They're so tiny that there's a 3-4 year period that you could be living in right now, perimenopause, which I did. And I had no idea I was in it. Right. And neither did you.
No idea.
None.
Now, I know it sounds pretty harsh that your ovaries are dried up. So I want to make you feel better. I'm going to tell you a little story. Now, this isn't actually the first time you've heard this story, but it will be the first time for everyone in the world to hear it. So you'll hear it twice, but I think you'll enjoy it a second time.
Probably already forgot.
All right, we'll be right back. Bikini addiction, Lauren. You can throw it, but you can't pick it up. Shade. No one got our riddle, so they did not win the 1988 Pontiac Fiero we were giving away. But they are grabbing the new color Shade by Bikini Addiction. So make sure you get out and get yours before it's gone. Lauren, you look great in the sun, but you look even better in shade. It's hard enough to describe the color blue. So how do you describe the color shade?
Like a carbon. It's super, super pretty. It's like a dark gray, and it is metallic. It has shimmer in it. I love it with the rhinestone accents. It looks like jewelry. That's how I feel in it. It's really pretty. It's a limited edition, so once it's gone, it's gone. Go to bikiniaddiction.com and use our promo code at checkout, room77, and save 10%. Whatever you're doing right now while listening, know that you're being serviced. Not unlike anyone else getting serviced, we must be touching you in some way. We enjoy servicing you. But imagine feeling like you're constantly servicing someone for free. I love it, but that doesn't mean that my jaw doesn't get sore from talking, or that my hand isn't carpal tunneled from working that pen, or that my ass isn't completely worn out from sitting here all day making content. Again, I love servicing you. I wish I could do it more, to be honest. And getting full service for $5, that's a sweet deal, right? But taking it for free, that's got to make you feel kind of dirty, huh? Stop feeling dirty. End the guilt and go to room77life.com and become a member for $5. You still get service and so much more without all that dirty guilt. There, we just made your life a little better. You're welcome. Go to room77life.com and sign up now. But first, let's welcome our newest members: Robert, Turtles All the Way Down, Hank and Freddie, Eric, Kip, Pinko, David B, TNA, Ohio. Thanks, guys.
So I know that your ovaries, they're gone now. and we have to grieve that loss. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to share with you a story. I have a ball weight that someone gave me.
It's from Taboo Toys.
It's from Taboo Toys?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got it for you to put in your pants so it made your junk bigger for the parties.
Right. Well, let me tell you what happened. I love Taboo Toys, and it's not their fault. And what a ball weight is it looks like almost like a half a cylinder. It's just a really heavy thing. I want anything that puts weight on my sack. Mm-hmm. I just want it. Right. Yeah. And I put it on my sack, and it's fine. And it's sitting there. And I figure, you know what? I'm going to shower with my ball weights on. Mm-hmm. Right. I think you shower with them.
Most people to say.
Well, I mean, look, if you're going to bring the car into the car wash, why take the hood emblem off? It's stupid.
Just tape down the antenna. Let's keep going.
There's no need.
Yeah.
Polish it all up while we're in there.
Sure.
Right. I want to get the hot water, really get my sack down. If it's up to me, I want my sack to hit the floor. I want to build myself up till I get a 45 pounder on my balls, right? So I get in the shower, I start soaping up. What happens is I'm just in there and cling, 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 cling. The ball weight falls off. The ball weight, which is meant to stay on my balls, because I'm going to tell you why.
Your balls slip through the weight.
Because I have been on testosterone for so long, my balls are the size of bonbons now. So when it fell off, I was shocked as if I was a magician and just made a solid go through a solid. And I didn't know how I did it, but it happened. And I immediately told you, I was like, I no longer have balls. I have a penis with labia. Basically, that's what I have. So that's your story. You don't have ovaries. I barely have testicles. We are a match made in heaven. Also, if anybody is out there looking for a slightly used ball weight device, call me. But I was thinking about our situation and our age. I was thinking about when we first started. And this is in the early 2000s. When we first got into the lifestyle, we spent years whoring around, like a lot of others, before they knew what the lifestyle was.
Right.
We had befriended a couple that ushered us in and but showed us the way.
Right.
And they were older than us, maybe 10 years older than us. Really beautiful couple. Mm-hmm. To us, they were absolute heroes.
They had it all figured out.
They'd been in the lifestyle for a really long time. They had a lot of experience. They had all of the clothes. They knew all of the things. They knew all of the places, all of the people. And back then, you needed those types of people because now you have the internet. There's a group on Facebook for everything. There's Twitter, there's TikTok. There's so many resources, things that gave you information. Podcasts like we're giving you now. That wasn't a thing. There was no such thing as this, what you're listening to right now. Unfortunately, those two wonderful people grew apart. Looking back, if I had to guess, she was going through menopause.
I bet you're right.
What she was going through and what his complaints were. She was in her mid-40s.
Oh, my God.
Not to get too personal, but I kind of spearhead the health department here. I'm the one who's always asking you, go to the gynecologist, get yourself checked, make sure, because you're not a person who really is concerned about things like that. And I am. I think you went the second time and he was like, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I mean, it was just my checkup. But yeah,
Right.
You were like, it's time for your annual. And I'm like, okay, doctor. That's when I went in and he was like, yeah, I'm really having a hard time finding this other ovary over here. I think that you might be in menopause. And I was like, huh? And this is before I even knew that there was a perimenopause, period. Like when the dinosaurs lived. I think that's what it was called.
I mean, if you think about a dinosaur, they're just so grumpy.
They atrophied hands. Yeah.
Carrying around a little extra weight.
Right.
Slow. From what I heard, forgetful. That's where it came from. That's a fact. Look it up.
So he said, go get some blood work done. And then that's when I did that. And then my little levels or whatever said, you're in the menopause level. Like I won. And I was excited that I won. Then we had to make a plan. And that's when we all came together and we're like, hey, Richard, guess what? Your wife has been diagnosed with menopause. It's been going on for quite some time. So we probably have some therapy we could use for the period that we went through blind. But
it was a relief to me, to be honest with you, because there was an answer that then could be fixed.
Right. According to everyone else except my mother.
Well,
the reason I bring that up is because when I talked to her about it, I said, I'm going to look into hormone replacement therapy. I have reached menopause at my dear age of 40. And she was like, no, don't do that. That's dangerous. You're going to get cancer. That's what the study says. And she sent me an article. Mm-hmm. And we all know that the study is quite flawed and it's very old and it's dated. And
first on the list of the Google search, by the way.
Yeah, it is. She was like, no, that's just a part of life. And now you go through menopause. Yeah, and I was like, and no, because I don't want to live my life like that. And I have a different outlook on the way I want to live my life.
I mean, to be fair, that was probably your mom being like, great, then stop doing what you're doing. Now Jesus found you and you can go back to the church.
Now there's no more sex for you.
And you don't have to have sex anymore. And that's sort of what we had talked about in the last episode. To reiterate, if this was a male problem, would have been fixed already.
Yeah.
But anything that seems to happen to a woman, it's still an issue. But with men, if you can't get an erection or you have a libido problem, it's like, pharma is on it. They're on it. We got a pill, we got a pump.
Yeah.
We got an injection.
Surgeries.
Websites.
Implants.
Anything you need. Implants. Yeah. Surgery. Whatever you need, we got it. Whatever is going to keep you fucking. Ladies, you are shit out of luck. Sorry. Guys, just go find a younger model. It's time to trade up. Fall sale going on right now.
0% down.
Throwing in undercoating. But that being said, it's not helping that no one talks about it anywhere, especially in the lifestyle. And it should be, because it's a real something. I know it's not sexy. It is even difficult for men to bring up erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how difficult it is for a woman to bring up menopause. And mainly probably because of that feeling, that image, that it makes you old. Men and women should be able to share this with one another more freely, because it is not going to change.
It's inevitable. Every woman is going to face this at some point. And some earlier, some later.
And if you're in the lifestyle, it's every couple is going to face this, because this isn't something that you're going to handle alone. This is going to affect your lifestyle. It's going to affect your relationship. It's going to affect your sexuality. It's going to affect a lot of things. It's something that you need to handle together. Men need to have a better understanding of it. Women need to have a better understanding of it. And people need to have a better understanding of it together. First thing we do is we go to the gynecologist here and we say, all right, well, we're going to get you fixed.
Well, I get the blood work. He said, get the blood work, bring it back to me, and we'll talk about the hormone replacement stuff.
Great.
Awesome. Here we go. I'm like there the next morning up at 6. I'm ready to go.
Now, you have a husband who's been taking hormones for about 12 years now. Your gynecologist doesn't know this. It's none of his goddamn business.
You don't go to him.
I don't have a hoo-hoo. So I go to your appointment with you, and he prescribes you the amount of testosterone that I'm taking per week in one shot. And I don't say anything in the meeting. When he says it, my brain goes, there's no way she's putting that in her body. But we immediately get home and start reaching out to people and start asking questions. And we call a few doctor friends that we have. Uh-huh. And the response that we get to his treatment is, that's insane. Do not do that. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Well, it was one shot, and that's supposed to last you a month. Still.
I said, well, look, it's not going to hurt to do it once. I mean, it's just not.
That's what we say about everything.
But it's not.
Let's try everything twice.
Well, it's the rule about cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cigarettes are going to kill you, but not this one.
Not that one.
So I was like, we're going to inject you with this one and see how the testosterone feels. And your pussy blew up like a baboon.
Oh my God, it was so painful.
I'll do a little impersonation. I want you to call me. I'll be the gynecologist, and you tell me, hey, my pussy blew up. Uh-huh. And I'll tell you what it sounded like on your side when you called and had some concern.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hi.
Hi, how can I help you?
So I took the shots, been 3 or 4 days, and my pussy is so swollen and my vagina hurts really bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to take some time to get used to.
Okay. It doesn't seem right though. Seems a bit off.
Okay. I'll see you in another 30 days.
Wait.
Yeah, we're going to do it again. And then you'll just get used to it.
Okay. So this is just first time. That's why it's doing this. It doesn't even make sense.
I'm at a quinceañera right now. Can you add this to the phone call? Can you ask me, should I get my blood checked again?
Oh, yeah. Do you think I should take my blood again?
Why?
To see if it's super high in testosterone.
We could take it in a couple of months if you want.
If I want, but okay. Thanks.
Again, I got to go have some cake.
Okay.
But that's what his response was.
Oh,
Needless to say, we never saw him again.
Yeah.
So then we sort of learned which direction we wanted to go. You have the options.
You have creams, you have shots and creams and pills, or nothing, I guess. It's a combination. You just pick which one works best for you, or none of the above.
So there's gels, there's pellets, injections. There's a bunch of different options. The most important thing about your options is the blood tests that come with them. And
urine test and saliva test. It's not all can be done with blood, which is a scary thought that people don't know.
We also learned that through our medical professionals that you rid a lot of your estrogen through your poop. And Lauren was not pooping. Are you regular? It should be a basic question before take this giant needle and shove it in your ass. I'll talk to you next month. So no matter what treatment you decide that is good for you, make sure you find somebody that is going to keep up with your blood tests, but not only your blood test, how you're feeling. With guys, it's pretty straightforward.
Well, yeah, you have one major hormone that you're regulating. We have 3.
It's a balance of these 3. What are they?
Testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen.
Every woman is different, and finding that balance and tweaking that balance, especially if you're on antidepressants or you have some mental health issues, finding that balance is so important.
Well, yeah, it's not a straightforward dosage that works for every single person. It's, we know that our blood count should be between blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say those statistics. But with these specific levels, the more that I started to ask my friends about it, they were like, oh, well, I actually, when I was talking to my doctor, decided that I need to be at a higher level of test because of the way my body functioned. I needed to have a higher level of progesterone because I don't sleep well because I'm on some other medication, or just people have different balances. And so it is a giant puzzle, and it takes time. I ended up doing test injections, progesterone pills, and estrogen cream.
Almost a combination of all of the things, minus pellets.
Yeah, I didn't do pellets because they are harder to regulate. Mm-hmm. From what I understood, they're better for people who aren't as active. And they're obviously, since we live in Mexico, if my body rejects it, it was a little bit more difficult to deal with.
But from you would talk to or text once a week. And they would say, how are you feeling? And you say, I'm just having some trouble sleeping. And I say, all right, well, try doing this with your progesterone. All right. You're like, I'm so horny. I'm like rubbing one out every 4 seconds. And they're like, why don't we bring down the test a little bit? And that actually happened.
I know. I was going back. I had a calendar diary, and I was going back through it, and I was looking at it. And it was like night sweats, slept 4 hours, slept a full night, still tired, skin breaking out, sugar cravings, horny, no orgasms.
Fuck the gear shifter in the car.
I mean, it was like snappy, foggy, like it's all over the map. And everything was literally, and this is just 2 months.
Yeah.
How much I was adjusting.
So the good thing about not having the pellets is you are able to bring down that dosage of testosterone. If you have a pellet, it's in there. So there's no adjusting that pellet. Maybe it's for somebody. For you, that's the reason they go in that. It's not an injection that has to go intramuscular like guys do. It can be sub-Q. Our medical pros kept diet in mind and vitamins in mind. Looked at the entire panel and said, you are deficient on this. This vitamin is down. How many fruits and vegetables are you getting? What is your nutrition like? Make a food diary. I want to know what you're eating, because all of these things are going to play together, and there's no way to get a clear picture of what is causing what and how everything is working in harmony with one another unless we line it all up. it is going to take a little bit of a balancing act and a little bit of diet changes, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
To get you feeling like you want to feel.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gaining weight. I don't like this part. I'm tired. All those things can relate to vitamins too. So they were like, we just need to do the whole picture in order for us to really know, is this hormone related?
One of the most special things that we had was being able to text and say, hey, I just tried to stab my husband and I think maybe something's wrong. And
to be able to talk about the sex part of it too, because we are lifestyle and I want to have a libido and I want to be able to, our people are.
Yeah, they are in the lifestyle.
They are in the lifestyle.
They're like, how was your orgy? Did you get into it? Or like, how's your masturbating? You like using like with no, and that is actually very comforting.
It was just a level that so extra that you're like, oh, wow, I don't feel awkward at all saying anything.
Don't find one of those places that are just a one size fits all.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling now?
It's been about 7 months into the whole getting off my birth control pills. So stopping those hormones and starting new hormones. There's still a little bit of fine tuning that I need to do because I had to supplement and take extra antidepressants because I was turning into a crazy person. And so now that's my next step, is to lower that. And that's another thing that obviously inhibits your libido, is just, and I hate that. It's a number and I want to get lower on that. But yeah, I had to double down on that. So I can't wait for that to happen. I feel maybe by October, I should be in pretty good shape. But I feel like
you definitely feel a difference.
I feel 180 degrees. Like there was so much that I felt so dark for so many months that I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to feel normal again. And you will, like, you absolutely will. And it's only months. It's not years. And you can hang in there and it won't work overnight, but it does work. And I think, for the guys to know too, like, just hang in there, man. We need you. And I needed you to pick up the phone and send text and all those things for me, because there was times when I was just like, I don't really care about if I get treatment or not. Like, I just don't care anymore.
I was not the model husband by any means whatsoever, because there was just a level of frustration that whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I wasn't, I hit some very dark moments myself, because it was very, very difficult doing what we do, and our workload and going through it was very, very dark, and it just sucked. And it's not fun. And
it's not, but just know that there's other people that are doing it at the same time. And I think even if you had even known, like, hey, it's, in 5 months, just hang in there. 5 months, she'll be better.
Yeah. I wish I knew years ago. I wish years ago, because there were years that I was going through that I thought you were slipping away somehow. Not slipping away, but
just like getting more depressed, or like,
what is happening, I should say. Let me just say this, not to steal your thunder. So one of the things that we did during this process is our medical pros were testing me, because I had been doing testosterone for over a decade and never got a blood test once, because I'm a moron.
Because you read forums.
Well, because I just don't care. And it's super unhealthy. It's really stupid, honestly. Thank God I'm okay, except for one reading. My free testosterone was really, really high. And it's not bad. It's just not great. One of the things you have to do is come down on your testosterone. And I've been doing that for the past six or 7 weeks now. I know what it's like when you come down on your testosterone. I know what the side effects are.
Right.
It doesn't feel good. And right now, even while you were going through this, just in the past couple of weeks, just in the past 6 weeks, my libido has gone away. My depression has gotten worse. My energy level has stopped. I've lost muscle mass. All of the things that you were going through, it was like this horrible reminder of what you were going through. of like, fuck, I didn't even take this into mind. This is how she was feeling, right? Like I haven't really given that much thought because there were days where I was depressed. Now I knew it was because I dropped my test down. For someone who doesn't know what's going on with their body, I can't even imagine. I would tell you, like my libido is just in the toilet, like couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's important to be able to have that empathy there. I do see a change in you. I do see a sparkle in your eye that is returning. And,
we're always champions of open communication and talking to your partner about everything and it just being very vocal and it helps the relationship so much. So this is another thing that if you're vocal about it and you're talking about, I'm just really depressed today, or I'm just don't really have a libido, then it's not necessarily that I'm not interested in this threesome or I'm not attracted to you right now. It's something else is happening.
Be observant and be a team member. The whole thing about the lifestyle is it is about us. And especially with a woman going through this, if you're in the lifestyle, you are going to go through it together because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you both. These thoughts and these actions that are brought on by your body going through a change can have a negative impact on the other side, meaning there are certain things that can become very insecure for the other side. You were never really irrational. You never really snapped at me. You're never like, you're a little snippy sometimes, but you're never like a crazy, crazy person. But this can cause those problems. And in the lifestyle, it can become very volatile very quickly.
Yeah.
We're saying that it's really important to not ignore this as a lifestyle subject, as a female and male problem.
Situation that we're all going to face.
We're all going to go through it.
Yeah, because it will affect your play at some point. I guarantee it. It can be recipe for disaster really quickly if you're not paying attention.
And have empathy for one another. One person is going through a whole lot with their body and it's really, really confusing. And the other person on the other side
insecure
and sometimes frustrated and may divorce you 17 times. So that's it. That's for us on PBS. Thank you for listening. That's our time. Now we move on to drugs and anal. Yay! And this
is a good story.
It is not a sad story about death and autumn. This is success.
Yay, crossing that finish line.
Anal success. But it is not a how-to, not a tutorial, just like any other podcast. We've done it once, so now we're experts. Not what it is. It's just to keep you up to date on our anal activity.
Right.
Because that's what our listener wants to know. Mm-hmm. Help by, once again, Shivers, because being lubed up is really, really important with anal. Right. Shivers, the THC enhancer, is like lubing your entire body.
Oh, God.
Because when we're saying drugs, we're not like chasing the dragon here.
No.
We're not.
This is a pregame type, a light.
Shivers is like if you want the druggy effect without that druggy feel and none of the rehab. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
so good.
just like if you've ever watched shows like Euphoria and you're like, I kind of want to be a druggie.
Right.
A little bit. But
it looks intense.
I don't want to be a part of that intervention.
Yeah.
Then Shivers is for you.
There you go. When you're doing anal. Especially
when you're doing anal. It is a female enhancer. It is a male enhancer. When I did read male enhancer, I assumed it was for my penis and I ate all the gummies, including the package. Was that too much? Yes.
Yes.
Are you supposed to swallow the packaging? Probably not. Did I grow a big dick? No. But I look like one. So, Shivers is about learning. They are about. And feeling good.
That is the PBS of this drug.
So, where do they get all this wonderful THC enhancing stuff, Laura?
Go to shivers.store and use our code R77 and save 10% on your order. Everyone asks me, how do I take this? Because it comes with no instructions. So just get the female Shivers, get the male Shivers, and eat half 40 minutes before.
Do not eat the packaging.
Don't eat the packaging.
Because that's not on there either.
It's not.
But I did it for you.
That's why you listen to us.
Yeah, and you don't want to do it because I tell you, it hurts coming out.
Thank God you were still high when you were pooping it out.
Well, I was high for days. Took the whole package.
You did. You know that they have it in both like a plastic and they have it in a glass bottle. So which package did you eat, Richard?
I ate the glass bottle. Make sure you grab a lot of lube, a lot of shivers, and get on with your butt fuck-ing. I swear we did not take shivers before this.
I always laugh like this.
All right. Anal. We did it. We were successful. This story was called Little High Lauren, a butthole story, because you were pretty high. And I felt like that was some of the success of it.
I think it helps for sure. I
think it did help. We also, what I did find out was pre-gaming you with a toy was really, really helpful. And I got this from a friend because he had told me they were the impetus. Impetus? Is that the right word?
I don't know that word.
Karen, can you look that up? I wish we had a Karen. Hold on.
I don't.
Yes, they were the impetus. Because she is a tiny little petite girl and she did anal. And then you had no excuse. So I had asked him, I was like, how did you do it? He's like, this is how I did it.
Yeah.
I opened her up a little bit, little one by one by one. Also used it as, you have no excuse, Lauren. She's half your size.
Yeah, I know.
We got to give credit where credit is due because one of the ways that we prepared for this was with taboo toys.
Go to our website and I'll put it up.
But this little device feels really, really good. I've used it as well.
The petite rimming plug is a bisexual plug.
I don't think you have to put labels on the toys. They don't enjoy that, Lauren.
Whatever it identifies with. No, it's cool because it has the beads on it. They stimulate the actual butthole, which is why it's called the rimming plug. And then it also vibrates like in the part that goes inside you, the tip. The base, it's like one of those T ones, so it doesn't go all the way in. Like you're not going to never get it out. It stretches you out a little bit because it's vibrating and
stimulates.
Because it stimulates, and the stem actually is a little bit thicker than a decorative plug.
Most important.
Yes.
Does it have a remote control?
No, it has a remote that you can like hand off to somebody, like a physical remote. And then you can go to like dinner or something and your partner can have it in their hands or in their pocket or whatever.
Oh.
It is fun. Yeah, that part's fun.
What if you gave it, like you went to a restaurant and you gave it to the host or hostess?
Just the maitre d' and was just like Chardonnay and press this when you're ready.
Your tip depends on it.
I think that's fun. They do have one that's bigger. The regular one, I guess. I don't know. It's the non-petite.
Stick with petite.
I know. I liked it. It's less committal. It just goes in really kind of easily.
So just a few questions to catch all the people up. If you are a anal virgin out there listening, God, get on board. Please, people. You're so behind.
So good. It feels so good.
Well, that's my question. How did you like it?
It's a different sensation. I really do like it. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like there's different nerves there and it's just a different sensation. And I don't know if it's because my ovaries are dried up, but it's just a different, listen, venture out and just try it for yourself.
I don't care about your philosophical reasons for other people to do it. I'm trying to find out how it felt to have a dick in your ass.
It feels good. I don't know how to describe it.
What do you mean? Did you feel pleasure?
Yeah, it's definitely pleasurable. It's the same sensation as going in your pussy, just it's not your pussy, so it feels different, but the same. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel pleasure getting a little pegging action. So, but I have a prostate. You do not. So I don't know what the difference is for a woman when she's having anal. Was it ever? I could have gone faster, deeper, longer, harder, better, faster, stronger.
Thanks, Kanye.
Jesus. You did get to one point where you stuck other stuff in there. Do you remember that?
What?
You don't remember?
Oh, a dildo?
Yeah. So you were getting DP'd.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And that was the only point you were like, wow, that was a lot.
Yeah. Well, because I want to practice up to that point. Because when we're doing threesomes, I want to be able to do it live, if you will. When you're practicing with me, then I was like, oh yeah, I want to feel that in my ass and cock in my pussy at the same time.
Yeah. It's a pretty big dildo. So I have high hopes. So I have a lot of friends with big cock. It's just, and I'm probably going to get the ass.
Yeah.
Because of my cock size.
And
you take me pretty easily.
Stop. I don't take you easily. And I don't think for a woman it's about deeper. I think it's...
Well, that's what I was going to ask
It's about the entry point. That's where all the sensation is.
Not when I watch porn. And I always wonder, like, how deep is too deep? Because do you just need more practice?
I don't think it really feels that different once it's inside. For me, it's the in and out part that feels good. I mean, if you're trying to film a porn, maybe, then you want to go
did it ever hurt at any point where you're like, oh, that's way too deep, and not tell me?
I don't remember.
Okay, good. I'm glad
Thank you.
Glad it moved you that much. I have it on film. I'm going to have you watch it back and see if that jogs anything. I mean, the only thing that I would have wanted out of it would be you to have once since then been like, you know, as casual as you would bring up, say, a back rub, be like, oh, you know, I'd really like to take it in my ass again tonight. Like, I really need my ass filled. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I totally need to do that more. I don't know why I'm so self-conscious with you asking for stuff like that.
To be honest, I've never heard a woman say, I need my ass filled.
But you sold it so well, I believed it. Baby, just fill my ass before bed tonight.
Oh, my pussy's so sore. Can you put it in my ass? I'm just going to scoot over by the bed. I just need something in my ass. I just need you to keep the cum in there.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, just I've already lubed it up. It's ready to go.
I will lube it up for you and tell you.
It's just, I'm all ready. I've taken the toys. I've already opened myself up.
There's something vibrating while you're looking at Instagram. And I was like, oh, baby, I'm getting my ass ready rimmed
for
right
you.
now.
Yeah.
And it's ready. And I just need you to stick it in before.
All I need now is that cock. These are things that I'd like to hear.
Sure, I'll work on that, Richard.
Also, if you need them written out, I'd be happy to make you a list.
I don't need a list.
We can hang it on the refrigerator. This way, you can just see them every time. You know, you're making me a sandwich. And be like, oh yeah, I need you in my ass. That's something that I need to remember. Have you been practicing? Like, have you been doing anal stretches?
No, I haven't been practicing, but I have been touching it more.
Good. Is there anything in there now?
No, but I did wear my plug twice this week.
You didn't tell me that. All right, great.
Well, you should check my OnlyFans more often then, because
I'm busy, Lauren.
That's why I do it, and I take photos, and maybe I walk the dog, and then I take it out.
You walk the dog with it?
I did once this week.
Oh, man, you don't tell me anything.
It's your fault.
I'm really busy on my Fansly. Sorry, I have like 1,000 subs.
You do.
Yeah. All right. This anal update was brought to you by tabootoys.com. And where do they go again? What do they do?
Tabootoys.com, TABU, and save 15% off of everything, especially the petite rimming plug, which we will have on our website to go link there. Check our episode notes, and I'll put the link in there.
So what have we learned? We learned that you're too old to fuck. And
Except anal.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Oh.
Like, you've dried up. Mm-hmm. No, but you are menopausey, but your sex life didn't only get back to normal. You're still finding new holes to conquer.
New
So
ways to get pleasure.
the sex life is not, in fact, over. So there is hope for all of you people out there.
Yeah.
It's not over. It's just beginning. Keep fucking every hole. That's our advice. No matter what you're going through, there are hormones out there and doctors to fix stuff. Any advice that you have for the people out there that are struggling with hormones or anal?
Try and communicate as much as you can, because even if you reach out to your girlfriends and stuff, I had no idea everyone was going through it until I started asking people, and they were like, oh yeah, and then realize you're not alone. And that to me was a really huge thing. So
it's something that you have to work together at. And it's something that can be a bit painful at times. It can be a struggle, but you will get through it. And eventually, together in the end, it will be something great. And that entire time, I was talking about anal, but it's strange how the two can sound exactly like one another. And that's why we put anal and menopause together in the same podcast. Good night, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go leave a positive review.
for more information, go to room77life.com.
Thanks for stopping by Room 77.
We had a blast.
Now get your clothes and get out.
Come on.